On News Hour tonight, PDP defies court order, pushes on with a national convention. Stakeholders push for holistic diabetes care. Katsina community cries out over decades-long social amenities deficit. Away from Nigeria, Tanzania's president orders probe into election violence. A warm welcome to News Hour on Trust TV. I am Maimuna Bagudu. Now, the Federal High Court in Abuja on Friday ordered the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to suspend its national convention originally scheduled for November 15 to 16 in Ibadan, Oyo State. Justice Peter Lifu, ruling on a suit filed by former Jigawa State Governor Sule Lamido, also restrained the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, from supervising, monitoring, or recognizing any PDP convention that excluded Lamido as a contestant. The court found that Lamido had been unjustly denied the opportunity to obtain a nomination form to contest for the position of national chairman in breach of the PDP constitution and internal regulations. Justice Lifu directed that the convention be put on hold to allow Lamido to secure the nomination form, rally supporters, and carry out his campaign, affirming the party's duty to provide fair opportunities for its members to pursue leadership positions. Now, meanwhile, the Adamawa State Governor Amadu Umaru Fintiri said the People's Democratic Party PDP convention will hold in Ibadan as planned on November 15 to 16, 2025. The governor, who is the chairman of the Convention Planning Committee, confirmed the party is proceeding with preparations amid some internal disputes. The convention is set to be attended by delegates from all 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, with the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, expected to supervise the election of new party officers. The decision follows a court ruling that cleared the way for the convention, rejecting claims by a faction that sought to stop it based on a federal high court order. He said the PDP leadership, including governors, the National Working Committee, and the Board of Trustees, remain united on holding the convention in Ibadan, emphasizing adherence to the Supreme Court's authority on judicial matters to resolve any conflicts.
Critical stakeholders meeting where a lot of elaborate decisions were taken. And I want to tell you here that we are going to Ibadan to go for our convention, and the convention is sacrosanct.
Now, still on the PDP convention, a faction of the People's Democratic Party led by the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike says the party's national convention in Ibadan is not legally recognized. Factional Board of Trustee Chairman Senator Mao Ahuabunwa told reporters after a National Working Committee meeting in Abuja that anyone attending the Ibadan event should treat it as a social gathering. He described the convention as illegal and called it a jamboree. The factional acting national chairman, Abdurrahman Mohammed, urged delegates to stay away and wait for the appropriate time, assuring that efforts will continue to mobilize members across all 36 states and the FCT for a strong and united PDP.
And one of the basic ingredients or takeaway of that judgment is that there wouldn't be any convention. And we as law-abiding citizens and members of this party have decided to call on our members not to be involved in any convention. But having said that, we also realize that it's an inalienable right to gather at every level. People have the right, the human right, they have the right to gather. And if people gather, no matter where they gather, it's not our responsibility, because what is important is that what is at the end of the gathering, what the outcome and the impact. And as far as we are concerned, you can gather. But as far as national convention is concerned, there is no convention And this party has already unequivocally announced, advertised, telling our members that that convention has been postponed.
I want to use this opportunity to make it clear to all PDP members across the 36 states and FCT that our position is very open. We are law-abiding citizens, and we are going to be in line with the judgment of the Federal High Court and the other judgment that held yesterday. We are going to obey the two judgments, and we are using this opportunity to call all our delegates across the Federation that they should all stay away from the purported National Convention in Ibadan. We are not in line with that, and we remain a law-abiding citizen. The decision of the courts is stand.
Now, joining us live from Ibadan at the PDP convention ground is politics editor, Media Trust, in person of Clement A. Oloyede, and he will be giving us an update straight from the venue. Good evening, Clement.
Good evening.
All right, let's jump right in. Can you give us a situation report, and who are the key people currently in town for the convention?
Well, Ibadan is buzzing at this moment. It's 9 p.m. and everywhere in the stadium where the convention is scheduled to hold tomorrow is filled with people already. I spoke a few minutes before this conversation. I spoke with some of the leaders of the party, and from the pillars I can hear almost everyone that belongs in the faction of the Samuel Yahu. The person of Umar Damagun already in town. The governors are on ground. The national chairman is on ground, and some of the candidates, especially the will-be national chairman, I learned is also on ground. So you can say the who is who in the faction of the Umar Damagun are already on ground. And like I said, the atmosphere in the stadium is buzzing. Activities are just going on left, right, center. If you can pick some of them from behind me, you can see that a lot is going on in the stadium at the moment.
Yeah, I can see for myself at the background that the venue is buzzing, but would want to hear from you. Are delegates still arriving despite the court ruling?
Yes, I can confirm that delegates are arriving. In fact, almost all the hotels in the vicinity of Adamasingba and even as far as Bodija and as far as the University of Ibadan area are filled up with delegates. We have some of them already in the stadium that are having their meeting. Before I came on live now, I saw the Ondo State delegates. They were having their meeting, and you could see everyone. Thank you. You could see everyone that. Before I came on, I also saw delegates from Zamfara. They were just arriving at the stadium. I saw the buses. But not only this delegate, you'll be shocked with the number of party supporters that have turned up, especially from the northern states. If you go outside the stadium where they are selling things, you'll see a lot of them. But like I told you earlier, almost all the hotels around the vicinity, they are all occupied. And I learned that they are occupied by delegates of the party.
Now, based on the talks you had with some of the leaders, how is their reaction, both publicly and privately, to the Abuja court ruling halting the convention?
Well, I can confirm to you at this moment that the leaders, especially those that are on ground, they are unfazed with the judgment of the Federal High Court in Abuja. Because I said this because they told me since last night that they have decided, come what may, that they are proceeding with the convention. And they said their decision is anchored on the order of the Oyo State High Court that has given them the permission to proceed with the convention. And not only that, some of the leaders that I also spoke to said the decision of the parties is basically anchored on the previous judgment of the Supreme Court on the internal democracy of the party that says all these activities of the party internally is subject to the decision of the party. So a few hours ago, I still spoke with some of the leaders, and they said nothing has changed in their plan. Everyone that is supposed to be on ground is on ground, and they are proceeding. They said they consider the Oyo State High Court judgment that has given them the permission to go ahead as the basis for going ahead with the convention.
All right, fill us in on the security measures currently now in the convention ground, given the uncertainty around the convention. I hope everywhere is peaceful, and some security agencies are on ground to make sure that security and everywhere is peaceful.
Well, at the moment is not really clear, the security structure that is on ground. But all I can say is that the environment seems peaceful. There are pockets of security officials in different areas of Ibadan, but I expect that we'll see more of their presence from tomorrow morning when I think by 10 o'clock, 10 in the morning, that's when the stadium is supposed to be open for delegates to come in. I believe that the security structure that has been put on ground will be more visible at that time. But at this moment, around the stadium, we will see pockets of security people on ground. But I think all the people that are on ground are just going about the activity without any issues. We could see some in my background before, I think they left now. They were just singing around and moving around the stadium. That's the same atmosphere outside the stadium. It's just more like a celebrative mood. And for now, there is nothing to suggest that there is going to be any security issue. But by tomorrow, by the time we come back to you tomorrow, we'll have more details to give to you.
All right, thank you, Clement A. Oloyede, politics editor, Media Trust Group, for giving us an update live from the Ibadan convention ground. Thank you for speaking with us tonight, and stay safe. All right, moving on, former aide to ex-president Muhammadu Buhari, Loretta Onoche, says has sparked controversy after declaring in a viral video that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is gone and will not return for a second term in 2027. In the clip circulating online, Onoche criticized the administration and predicted that Nigerians would vote the president out in the next general election, insisting 2027 will shock many. Her comments have generated intense reactions across political circles, with supporters of the president dismissing her remarks as baseless, while critics say her statement reflects growing political tension and ahead of the next election cycle.
Tinubu has no pathway to return in 2027. We are not saying maybe or maybe. No. No. He's gone. He's gone. Thank you very much. Tinubu is gone. Because we are democratic, we understand what democracy is. He was elected, chosen by the people, including me standing here. And shamefully too. And regrettably too. We will walk gently. We are not going to be running around kitty or fighting or doing whatever they are doing. We are not going to go with them. We will all behave like Yerima. Yes, ma'am. We will stand our ground respectfully, without insulting anyone. We will stand our ground, and we just march on in 2027. I think 2027, he will be gone. It's non-negotiable. He is gone already. He is gone.
And now to health matters. As the world marks the 2025 World Diabetes Day, stakeholders are calling for more support for people living with diabetes. Now, this year's theme, Diabetes as Well-Being, draws global attention to the need for holistic care, focusing not just on blood sugar control, but also on supporting the physical, emotional, and social well-being of those affected. The report.
World Diabetes Day 2025 is putting a major focus on the often overlooked connection between diabetes and well-being. Observed annually on November 14th, the campaign under the International Diabetes Federation is urging employers, employees, and policymakers to know more and do more for diabetes at work.
To improve shared decision-making, we can start by asking about the patient's daily life, income, and goals. We can offer realistic, affordable options and agree on small, achievable steps. It is best to use visual and local food examples and not complex charts. It is important to know that treatment should fit the patient's reality, not a textbook. But there are socioeconomic barriers beyond drug cost. This includes transport issues, food insecurity, job instability, and weak insurance coverage. Most Nigerians pay out of pocket, making continuity difficult. To fix this, we can expand the NHIS scheme coverage for chronic care, flexible clinic hours, and food transport and support. We can involve family members by assigning them as helpers and not supervisors. They can help by reminding doses and recognizing low blood sugar. But then again, the drugs we use are very expensive in Nigeria. Simple metformin that we use can range from 3,000 to 7,000, insulin can range from 18,000 to 21,000, and other drugs can range from 30,000 up to 80,000 naira. So basic diabetes care coverage can exceed an average monthly income. To improve diabetes care in Nigeria, we must make education continuous, affordable, and culturally relevant.
The International Diabetes Federation reports that a significant percentage of individuals with diabetes experience anxiety, depression, or even diabetes burnout due to the constant burden of self-management. These health experts say a lack of understanding or supportive policies exacerbate these.
Diabetic stress will go on as a lot of psychological feeling of the patients. The worries when you're diagnosed that you're already diabetic. So that feelings, how can I buy this drug? The other one is thinking about his drugs.
For persons with diabetes, managing the disease requires consistent collaboration between the patient and a multidisciplinary healthcare team.
And that's where there is a need for teamwork in the hospital system. If there is a diabetic stress, in some cases, because of the range in the mind, a psychologist, clinical psychologist is supposed to be invited so that he will correct the impression of that particular patient.
What I observe and is all about is a control of what you eat. That is your diet. If you can monitor what you eat, you follow the medical advice given by experts, dietitian, endocrinologists, and the rest of them.
As the world marks today, the message is clear: to create supportive work environment and raise awareness of the challenges people with diabetes face. Tanti Azal, Trust TV, Abuja.
As Bielsa joined the rest of the world to mark this year's World Diabetes Day, health experts in Yenagoa, the Bielsa state capital, have advised people living with diabetes to strictly follow professional guidelines in managing the condition. They described diabetes as a chronic medical disorder characterized by disturbance in the metabolism of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. According to the experts, diabetes can be effectively managed through regular exercise, blood glucose monitoring, proper education from healthcare professionals, a healthy diet, and prescribed medications. And Trust TV's Friday Ebi Bomuwe Peter completes the report.
Health experts at the Federal Medical Center, Yenagoa, have highlighted some of the causes and symptoms of diabetes, stressing that the condition has no age limit. They advise patients to adhere strictly to professional medical instructions to avoid complications.
The common symptoms of diabetes include frequent thirst, frequent urination, and hunger. The person is always hungry. There's also loss of weight. So you now see a person that is eating a lot, eating more than other people, but is still losing weight. Other common symptoms include frequent infections. So you may see someone that keeps on having boils or poor wound healing. For men, they also have erectile dysfunction, and for women, they may have reduced fertility. But there's also blurring of vision. These are some of the common symptoms of diabetes. People living with diabetes should try as much as possible to follow the advice that their healthcare professional has given them. So they should try and eat the correct diet that has been prescribed by the dietitian. They should take their medication.
So where the insulin becomes, inadequate or insensitive to harness the sugar, which is the end product of the digestion of carbohydrate, for the cells to use, they'll be circulating in the blood system. And when you take a patient's blood and measure, it is high out there. Yet the cells that should need them are not really, having them. Of course, there are risk factors associated, family history. If a father or mother had one, there's a likelihood, for the offspring to present with same, and that's why
a diabetes patient in Dotimi Ogubo, who has been battling the condition for years, called on the government and relevant authorities to intensify research efforts and provide lasting solution to the disease. He also highlighted some of the discomfort diabetics face.
It's a little bit terrible, especially if you are on type 2 or type 1. You feel dizzy, exclusive cell will be weakened, and sometimes you will not be comfortable. I think I want the government to get more researcher, more works, and more drugs to give to the patients so that at least it will reduce the illness and to eradicate the illness completely.
Every year, 14th November is observed globally as World Diabetes Day. Friday, Ebimobo Peter, Trust TV News, Yenagua.
Moving on, despite decades of democratic governance, many communities in Katsina State, northwest Nigeria, are struggling to survive not only from years of banditry, but also from the total absence of basic necessities of life. Ruwan Gamji village in Dutsima local government area stands out among numerous settlements battling without schools, healthcare, access roads, and water facilities for decades. The village hosts an estimated population of more than 5,000 people, a population in need of emotional and spiritual healing, as well as economic recovery after long years of insecurity. Trust TV's Abdullahi Yamadi visited the resilient residents and now reports.
It was a bright yet slightly hazy afternoon when Trust TV News arrived in this forgotten community on the southern outskirts of Duzimwa town. Men and children gathered at the village center, settling into their routines after the early morning hours. The untarred road beginning from Isa Keita College of Education links Duzimwa with dozens of farming communities, including Gagu, Takazaba, and Ruangamji, before terminating at the popular Zobe Dam. Wet season and irrigation farmers endure unimaginable difficulties transporting their produce to markets amid deepening losses due to the poor access roads. Though the distance from Duzimwa to Ruangamji is just about 10 kilometers, the road becomes nearly impassable, especially during the rainy season. Traveling on our bad road is a uniquely dramatic experience. Thank God you have witnessed it yourself. This community has been left behind in terms of basic necessities. We have nothing, no school, no health facility, no water. In fact, the experience here is bitter. At the very least, if we can get a better road, a school for the many out-of-school children, a health facility and water, we would be better off. But none of these amenities exist here. What can a poor man do? It takes hard work and courage to live here.
To saboda haka muna roƙon gwamnati dan Allah da Annabi a taimaka mu.
Villagers lament the absence of schools, healthcare centers, water facilities, and even a polling unit. Challenges, they say, have persisted for decades despite their active participation in politics and the presence of dozens of school-age children. They express frustration over years of neglect by both local and state authorities. According to them, several appeals have been made in the past, but government response has remained absent, leaving residents questioning the value of their continued participation in elections, which many now describe as irrelevant. They insist their children have a constitutional right to education. Children from Ruangamji trek nearly 3 kilometers daily to attend primary school in Takasaba. Yet, that school itself suffers from inadequate teachers, learning materials, and a poor learning environment. Years of insecurity have made us poor and exhausted. We only thank God that we are close to Zobeda. We engage in year-round farming, even without government support. If we can at least get subsidized farm inputs, things will improve for us. Residents say they are exhausted physically and emotionally from years of banditry, draining their strengths as they struggle to survive. While hoping the fragile peace currently being enjoyed will hold long enough for them to rebuild their lives, they are calling for a decentralization of government projects to ensure equitable distribution, rather than concentrating development in cities and major towns. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, has enough.
In another news, Nigeria and Mali have reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening bilateral relations and tackling regional security challenges. The development followed a courtesy visit by Nigeria's Minister of Defense Mohamed Badaru to Mali's Prime Minister General Abdullahi Mega during the Median International Defense and Security Exhibition BAMEX 2025 in Bamako. Speaking to journalists, Badaru described the Malian reception as warm and exceptional and conveyed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's greetings to the Malian government and people. He emphasized Nigeria's readiness to deepen defense collaboration with Mali to address shared security threats. Prime Minister Mega welcomed Nigeria's participation, calling it a testament to our enduring friendship and mutual respect. He praised BAMEX 2025 as a key platform for exchanging defense ideas and innovations to strengthen Africa's security frameworks. Top military and security officials from both nations, including Nigeria's Director General of the National Intelligence Agency and the Director of Operations at Headquarters, headquarters, attended the meeting, reinforcing a mutual commitment to regional stability. Now, troops of the Nigerian Armed Forces have intensified operations across the country, killing terrorists, rescuing 67 kidnapped victims, and arresting 94 criminal suspects within a 2-week period. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Olatokunbo Bello, disclosed the update on Friday in Abuja, covering military operations conducted between November 3rd and 14. He said troops recovered large quantities of arms and ammunition, including automatic rifles, machine guns, RPG tubes, locally fabricated weapons, and IED-making materials, while destroying criminal camps and logistic bases. In the northeast, Operation Hadinkai forces sustained offensive actions in Borno and Adamawa states, killing several Boko Haram and ISWAP fighters, apprehending 4 to 5 informants, collaborators, and logistics suppliers, and rescuing 1 kidnapped victim. Troops of Operation Fageyama in northwest killed several terrorists across Sokoto, Zamfara, Niger, Katsina, Kebbi, and Kano states, arrested 2 suspects, rescued 13 kidnapped victims, and recovered weapons, vehicles, and livestock. In the north-central operation, Enduring Peace forces responded to multiple attacks in Plateau and Kaduna states, killing extremists, arresting 16 suspects, and rescuing 5 kidnapped victims. Notorious criminal Ibrahim Wakili was arrested in Sanga local government area of Kaduna State on November 9. In the Niger Delta, Operation Delta Save fueled oil theft worth over 15.8 million naira, destroyed illegal refining sites, and arrested 9 suspected oil thieves in Bayelsa and Delta states. Meanwhile, in the southeast, Operation Udoka troops killed 1 terrorist and arrested 7 others in Imo, Enugu, Awka, Akwa Ibom, and Cross River states. And now, indigents of several communities in Ihiala local government area of Anambra State who have fled their homes due to the activities of insurgents posing as freedom fighters are beginning to return. For nearly 5 years, some communities were under the control of insurgents who imposed fines on residents before allowing marriages or burial ceremonies to take place. Recent operations by the Nigerian Army in collaboration with other security agencies successfully routed the insurgents, including their captured commander, Ifeanyi Okorinta, also known as Gentle Diyaho, leading to the liberation of most captured areas. And returning residents have expressed their gratitude to the Nigerian Army for restoring peace and security. In a letter conveyed through the office of the chairman of Ohanieze Indigbo, Ihiala local government area, and the President General of Mbosi Town, Azuka Innocent Okoli, the people thanked the commander of 302 Artillery Regiment Onitsha, Colonel B.M. Yakubu, for the Army's dedication, courage, and sacrifice. A fresh wave of violence has erupted in Ebonyi State, where the Amasiri community has allegedly launched another deadly attack on neighboring Oso communities, killing several residents and destroying properties. The renewed hostilities come barely weeks after both sides signed a peace accord negotiated by the state government. The report.
The fragile peace between the Amasiri community in Afikpo local government area and the Oso communities of Okporojo Ogiri and Ndobasi in Eda local government area has once again been shattered. Eyewitnesses say armed youths from Amasiri invaded Oso communities late in the night while residents were asleep, killing several people and burning or destroying buildings in the fierce attack. Some villages have been reportedly been deserted, with residents fleeing for safety as farmlands and homes now lie desolate. The traditional ruler of Oso community, His Royal Highness Ezeogo Michael Chima Uduko, expressed disappointment that despite signing the peace pact, attacks on his people have continued.
Issue directly to us for us to try and make peace. And that's why Iye and Okoye people met. First at Okoye, second at Iye. And we exchanged visits and contented ourselves before issuing the communique. The government applauded our effort. That the hour means Iye and Okoye effort in the reconciliation. But people did not like it, and the government refused.
Another community leader, Dixon Nachi Eche, lamented the recurring attacks and pleaded with government at all levels to urgently intervene to avert more killings.
It was just 2 days ago that Amasiri people came and attacked our people in our home. They even killed a pregnant woman with her children inside their houses. They killed a lot of people. Even one of them, my own blood brother, was beheaded. My own blood brother was beheaded. They went away with the head and left the carcass. And also, when they besieged our place, we called their leaders. Look at what is happening. Myself, I even called the coordinator several times. He couldn't even pick my call. I called one of their community leaders, Bishop Ken. He told me to call the coordinator. I told him I'll be calling the coordinator. He's not picking my calls. I sent a message to him. Look at what is happening. Why? Call your people to order.
For now, tension remains high across Okporojo, Ogiri, and Ndeobasi villages as residents fear the attackers may return.
This is News Hour on Trust TV, coming up after the break. Bauchi Assembly shut down by strike over financial autonomy. More news when we return. Do stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the News Hour on Trust TV. Let's take a look at our top stories once again. PDP defies court order, pushes on with a national convention. And stakeholders push for holistic diabetes care. And now moving on to more stories. The just concluded off-circle election in Anambra State has once again sparked conversations about credibility, public trust, and the future of Nigeria's electoral system. And while some progress was recorded, election observers pointed out critical lapses that, if not addressed, could undermine public confidence. Trust TV's Noel Sampson highlights some of the recommendations in this report. Let's take
Governor Chukwuma Soludo of Abga won in all 21 LGAs with 422,664 votes, defeating APC's Nicholas Ukochukwu, who pulled 99,445 votes. However, observers reported several irregularities, including vote buying, guideline violations, late deployment of election materials, security lapses, and interference by agents of Abga, APC, and YPP. They also noted low voter interest and growing distrust in institutions. The observers documented organized cash inducements, verification points used to monitor financial rewards, and at least 21 incidents of violence, ranging from clashes and intimidation to ballot box snatching. Despite these challenges, UN observer Jim Oko rated the election relatively high, noting that it showed improvements compared to the 2021 poll, an assessment echoed by other observer groups.
In 2021, the voter turnout in that election was 10.3%. This time around, it improved to 21%, so which is a huge improvement. Then we also talk about the types of upload. If you look at 2021, there were delay in upload. In fact, the election was not even concluded on that same day. The election have to reconducted in EL local government because of a lot of issue violence and a whole lot of things. So this time around, we didn't see that election was concluded, and at the same time, despite the fact they have more people.
Majorly, I think it's fundamentally about, number one, vote trading, which was very widespread across the state. I think information we got was across like almost all of the wards, the 326 wards, which were actually aided by the overbearing nature of the party agent. Also the secrecy of the ballot, where in terms of polling unit arrangement, people showing their ballot, and at the end of the day, we also see that security agents were also not intervening into the matter. But we know the provision of the law.
Despite the progress recorded compared to the 2021 election in Anambra, observers say the nation is still not where it should be in terms of free and fair elections, as more work remains.
We need to reform our laws, and then we need to set up election offense commission. It is now we need it, because electoral offenders are going scot-free. So we need that election offense commission to be able to take the burden of prosecution out from INEC so that INEC can focus on election.
We also spoke about the need for interagency, coordination more, because of the post-election incident that happened that we also recorded. We spoke a lot about giving INEC recommendation, most especially in the area of logistics, and so that in terms of commencement of vote, we can have some improved figures in that regard. Yeah.
We saw a widespread of vote buying, and it's not just one political party, across political parties. And in our statement, we made mention of the National Assembly reviewing the Electoral Act to give power to acts on the election day at the polling unit, not just to the electoral officials, but to the police.
Election observation plays a crucial role in promoting transparency, deterring fraud, promoting voters' rights, and providing an independent assessment of the voting, counting, and collection process. The presence of observers helps discourage malpractice and violence, boost public confidence in the outcome, and support peace and stability. The reports offer recommendations that help electoral bodies improve logistics, close loopholes, and strengthen the credibility of future elections. Well, Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Nigeria's push against child hunger gained fresh support as the Nigerian Red Cross Society in Abuja recognized Leila Ali Othman as an ambassador on nutrition and goodwill for her community welfare efforts. The Secretary General, Dr. Abubakar Kendi, said Leila's dedication to humanity, community development, and nutrition advocacy reflects the values the Red Cross stands for. She was praised as a steady partner in the drive to reduce hunger and improve nutrition nationwide. In her remarks, Othman pledged to keep pushing for better education for mothers, stronger communities, and wider access to basic nutrition for families.
The hunger crisis across the globe, is affecting all corners, and particularly here in Nigeria. Today, the situation was previously mainly in the northeastern part of this country. But it has actually now expanded or scaled up down to even the southern part of the country. So, we find it very pertinent as one of the leading organizations that was created by the government of the Federation to complement the effort of governments in serving humanity. We find it very important to reach out to people and be able to mobilize resources to assist Nigerians that require assistance in terms of addressing hunger crisis. And obviously, Madam Leila was discovered to be one of the leading figures, one of the prominent Nigerian citizens that has the passion for supporting and addressing humanity.
It's something that I've done for a very long time, and having a bigger platform to do it means a lot to me. So I just really wish and pray that this is the beginning of something amazing. They already have the platform, and they've been doing this for a very long time. And I equally have a little bit of knowledge. There's beauty in coming together to do some of these things, and with a wider range. So I strongly believe together we can do more, and we can spread more to our people. Every single time I tell people that it's a journey of no payment. The reward is in heaven. And it's very difficult for people to actually want to join such course. So I believe by doing so now with a bigger platform, it can reach more people, and I would like to believe that a lot of people will now want to join things like this, because there's always a starting point, and I would like to believe I am the starting point.
Now, legislative business at the Bauchi State House of Assembly came to a halt on Friday as parliamentary workers joined a nationwide strike organized by the Parliamentary Staff Association of Nigeria, PASAN. The industrial action is aimed at compelling the federal government to fully implement the Financial Autonomy Act, a key measure to strengthen the independence of state legislatures and deepen democratic governance. PASAN chairman in Bauchi State, Adamu Yusuf, said members participated in the strike following directives from the union's national leadership. He explained that the strike was a last resort after negotiations and dialogue with relevant government agencies failed to yield results. Yusuf commended Governor Bala Mohammed for his commitment towards ensuring financial autonomy for the state legislature, stressing that the strike is a collective effort by state chapters to intensify pressure for long-awaited reforms. In recent years, PASAN-led strikes have periodically shut down state assemblies nationwide, reflecting the union's push to enforce constitutional provisions on legislative autonomy and improve welfare for parliamentary staff. And now to Lagos, where residents have reacted to the federal government's move to secure the transfer of former Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu from a United Kingdom prison to Nigeria. The former senator, alongside his wife and Dr. Obinna Obeta, was convicted by the UK Central Criminal Court for conspiring to exploit a man for his kidney. The report. Former Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu, who was on May 5th, 2023, sentenced to 9 years imprisonment by a United Kingdom court over an organ harvesting offense, may soon be transferred to Nigeria to serve the remainder of his sentence. This is because on Tuesday, November 11, 2025, the federal government announced that it was exploring the possibility of securing Ekweremadu's transfer from the United Kingdom to Nigeria under existing prisoner exchange agreements. When Trust TV's news crew spoke with some Lagos residents, opinions were divided. While some believe Ekweremadu should serve his full term in the UK, others think he should be brought back to Nigeria to complete his sentence.
My own take is that Ekweremadu commit the offense in UK. He's not commit the offense in Nigeria. I don't see reason why Nigeria federal government should bring him to this place, because the trust on Nigeria on that case, if they bring it to this place, they may release him because it's a who is in Nigeria, and a small middleman or poor man have to have his own say. So let Nigeria federal government don't waste their own money on Ekweremadu. Let Ekweremadu serve him in where he commits the offense. I don't see reason why they should bring him back to Nigeria. What I suggest that as government, the federal government has talked that they will bring Ekweremadu come back to this country, it's good to become and serve in his own father's land. As serve in London is not good enough for Nigeria, that they are all the white people, they are not believers that we are not sincerely in this country, and then we need to support our federal government that is going to be all the eyes on Ekweremadu now.
But what me I'm looking at, if they are transferring Ekweremadu to Nigeria, it's a welcome development. But in other way around, our courts in Nigeria, our judges are not that sincere. But nevertheless, I'm a Christian. When one commits sin, other way around, or make a mistake, the Bible says you should forgive him. If he comes in Nigeria and he has a value of forgiveness, they can forgive him, no problem.
Whenever the parent committed offense, it's the right place to serve the term of prison or whatever penalty they give him. What I see in this case is that is to stay there at the United States or wherever he committed offense and continue serving of prison. He should not transfer to Nigeria, because this case is even a murder case. It's not a matter of giving a sentence.
They urged the federal government to ensure that if transferred, Ike Ekweremadu serves his full sentence in Nigeria as determined by the UK court. They also cautioned against any premature release, noting that the case should serve as a deterrent to others in positions of authority. In another news, former governor of Anambra State, Willie Obiano, has dismissed rumors describing them as false and mischievous. In a message to the public, Obiano said he woke up to numerous calls and messages prompted by claims suggesting something had happened to him. He reassured Nigerians, particularly the people of Anambra, that he is alive, hale, hearty, and in excellent health. The former governor expressed disappointment that some individuals continue to spread unfounded reports, saying such behavior remains difficult to understand. He, however, noted that he would not be distracted by what he called acts of mischief. Obiano also extended his appreciation to those who reached out with concern, prayers, and goodwill, saying their support means more than words can convey. He urged the public to disregard the rumor, adding that he remains focused, grateful, and guided by God's grace. You're still watching News Hour on Trust TV. The news continues after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. In business, the Naira recorded its first appreciation this week against the US dollar at the official foreign exchange market on Thursday. According to central bank data, the Naira strengthened to 1,441.44 Naira to the dollar, up from 1,443.08 Naira on Wednesday, a gain of 1.64 Naira at the black market. However, the Naira traded flat at 1,465 Naira to the dollar, the same rate as the previous day. Except for Thursday's slight rebound, the currency had trended downward all week with its steepest drop recorded on Wednesday. Meanwhile, Nigeria's foreign reserves continued their upward climb, rising to $43.42 billion as of November 12, up from $43.39 billion the day before. Now, away from Nigeria, Tanzanian President Samia Suluhu Hassan announced on Friday that a commission of inquiry is being established to investigate the killings that occurred during the recent elections that returned her to power. And speaking to Parliament, Hassan also instructed police and security forces to exercise leniency towards young protesters who followed the crowd, following the arrest of hundreds charged with treason, a crime that carries the death penalty. President Hassan secured a second term with 98% of the vote in the October 29 election, according to the Electoral Commission. However, allegations of electoral rigging and government repression, triggered days of violent protest during which hundreds were reportedly killed by security forces amid a complete internet blackout, according to opposition groups and human rights organizations. For sports updates, let's join Adeni Ajishafe.
The Day 2 of 2025 World Scrabble Championship taking place in Accra, Ghana, in a thrilling display of wordplay that left spectators on the edge of their seat, had Nigerian Scrabble team, the Green Locals, climbing to the top in the individual and team categories. The day began with Ghana sitting at number 1 in the country standings and Nigeria at number 2, and by evening, the script had been rewritten. Nigeria stormed into number 1 country position, displacing host nation Ghana, though 3 of our top stars were kicked out of the top 20. Leading Nigerians charge is Timi Woko with 13 wins and sitting in first place. Dogo Play with clinical power behind him, still swinging with intent is Godwin Victor with 11 wins. 9th place multiple national champion and current continental champion Timi Doko is on 10 wins at number 16. 4 more Nigerians in 22nd spot is Emmanuel Umojose, Samuel Adebola at 24th, Ojio Sikena at 25th, and Dipo Akombi 26th, while Nigeria's Queen of Letters, Tsuyo Mayoku, sits 31st. And in football, Super Eagles midfielder Wilfred Ndidi remains Nigeria's clash against DR Congo in the final of the African FIFA World Cup qualifying playoff tournament on Sunday, after receiving second caution of the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifying campaign. Ndidi booked in the 6th minute of Nigeria's 4-1 extra time victory over Gabon in the first semi-final at the Prince Moulay Abdallah Stadium in Rabat, Morocco, after halting Mario Lemina's run. Ndidi picked up his first yellow card of the World Cup qualifying campaign in Nigeria's 2-0 win over Rwanda in Kigali in March. The standing captain provided an assist for Chidera Ejuke's goal that put Super Eagles 3-1 up in extra time. Head coach Eric Chell will be without the Besiktas midfielder for Sunday's final. The options of Rafael Onyedika, Frank Oyeka, Al Hassan Yusuf, and even Shemi Ajayi to feature. That's Sport News. I'm Adeni Ajishafe.
With that, we've come to the end of News Hour on Trust TV. Do well to follow us on all of our social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more news. I am Memona Bagodo. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend and good night.